Okay, so we're gonna do the fourth part a little bit early. Um, this was supposed to be on like July 18th when it was gonna be my birthday, but I've decided that I'm going to be like making this right now and uploading this today, since recording, since I'm going to be trying to make something. I'm trying to make a project, so I'm gonna just rush this and get this over with. So we're gonna go over medical conditions, or we're gonna go over medical conditions and genetic conditions. So let's go through like some normal condition things first. First, we're gonna talk about a disease. A disease is like basically a body abstraction which is not normal in the body, and it can cause a severe malfunction that can harm the body, and it can be caused from environmental stuff, genetic conditions, lifestyle, or any other thing out there. But most like that, I think that diseases mostly harmful and can be like caused by harmful things like bacteria, viruses, um, environmental changes, infections, um, yeah, and pretty much lifestyle too. It's basically a way like worse version of disorder where it can harm you severely, and it's way more harmful because of the like things that make it harmful due to yeah, most likely a lot. So let's just go over the next one. Oh my god. Sorry, I didn't know what happened with that camera last time. I was having trouble trying to turn it off. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna talk about a disorder. A disorder is a way less chaotic version of a disease. It mostly is a body malfunction and can be very genetic. Some diseases can be genetic too, but mostly disorders are very genetic, and also like they cause like things in like maybe your vision, your mental health, your emotional health, or anything. Like mostly that's what disorders are, and they're just basically a dysfunction in the body, and they're just a malfunction and nothing anything too harmful besides other ones like schizophrenia or anything like that. But that's mostly what a disorder is, to be exact. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna move on now. Okay, so a syndrome. A syndrome is where there's like symptoms together, and it makes a characteristic out of the like syndrome. And there is like mostly at first not a cause. There's no clear cause as to why it's happening because of how many symptoms are clustering up together and tending to make that thing happen. Like disorders might have that too, where it's unclear of what's causing it, but syndromes is way much different because of how much it's confusing and because of how much symptoms are coming together in order to make that. Like, and a clear note about syndromes, they're a lot different in like mostly how many symptoms there are, and mostly like about that. I think that's probably about it. But that's mostly about it. And they also can be characterized from physical traits and other sort of stuff. Okay, so a symptom. A symptom is basically the warning of like what you have. Like for example, if you have something like the flu, then you would get things like sickness, you would get dizzy, or you would have a puffy nose and stuff, puffy eyes. That's mostly what symptoms is, and symptoms is just the warning to what you're gonna have to face up against. And symptoms are mostly the best warning to tell you what's happening so that you can go to a doctor in order to check that out. Just make sure that like you try to notice them quickly. You might not know what will happen. Especially you gotta basically like notice things even before symptoms. For examples like rabies, you gotta like go to a doctor if a rabid animal bites you, because if it does, then you're most likely gonna get rabies, and if symptoms come over, then it's already too late. So there are some cases where you might have to like go to a doctor even before those. Now that those things are out of the way, we are going to talk about the difference between medical conditions and genetic conditions. So medical conditions are a thing that basically are clarified as things from the outside, which are caused by things like lifestyle, environmental, or infections, or other things like viruses, bacteria, mostly things like that. It's mostly a medical condition where it's not from the inside of your body. It's from things outside the environment itself, which is why there's like a lot of like things of clarifications that they come from the outside world. And pretty much you gotta make sure that you don't get caught by things in the environment, and you gotta live your lifestyle a lot better. All right, so genetic conditions is where the DNA makes a mistake, and it causes one of the diseases, disorders, or syndromes to happen, and it can be based on other things. Like take Down syndrome for example. It's very genetic, and it's because of an extra chromosome 21, and it can cause characteristics like a weird eye or distorted hand or anything. But like, yeah, it's mostly caused from a DNA mistake and change of genes. That's what a genetic condition is, and diseases, disorders, and syndromes can come from it. Not to mention that these things are properties and are not part of the main five natural entities of the world, which are organisms, abiotic, biomolecules, living parts, and borderline life. These things are properties of some sort. They're not a part of the five natural entities of the world. Okay, so another thing about diseases is that they're very much easy to track, and they're very identifiable because they use the same process of it. That's another thing, like an extra detail about diseases. An extra thing about disorders is that they have a disruption in the body of physical or mental health. They are a disruption and cannot be easily identified as much as possible, but you can identify them if you look hard enough into the mental or physical health. Syndromes can be recognizable, but there's a lot of symptoms that tear consistently, and there's some signs about that. Another thing about genetic conditions is that they also can be anything because the DNA messes up, and it can mess up your body structure. So, for example, big hands, short, very skinny skin, or like you being small or way too big, or like anything like that, or any other genetic conditions. Like, literally, even like some sort of, like, I don't know, like another body combined or anything. Yeah. It can be anything. It's like shape shifting or ice blue eyes or anything. Yeah. Those are what genetic conditions can do. It can do a lot. And that's basically it that I have. I'm sorry it felt so short today because I'm rushing this in order to do a project. So this is going to be uploaded today instead of July 18th. So I'll see you there. I'll see you on July 31st.